Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Megan Wyatt, founder of Wives of Jannah, and I have a Q&A for you guys today. So my inbox reads, I recently got an arranged marriage to a guy I had never known before. We got engaged overseas 6 months ago, we met a month before the wedding, and we've been married for almost 2 months now. My husband is a bit more quiet and introverted while I am an extrovert, very expressive and completely a hopeless romantic. She sounds like my type. I try not to place any expectations on him as a husband, but sometimes I wish he was more expressive about his love for me. I try to be understanding and patient, and I know he loves me, but sometimes I feel insecure about the lack of loving gestures or even words. I don't know how to tell him without making it seem like I'm unhappy or I'm asking for too much. Thank you so much for sending in your question. So the first thing that I actually want to say is that your idea of what is romantic might be a little bit narrow. Bear with me and let me explain why. For you, the most romantic thing that you can imagine is your husband verbally expressing his love for you. So whether that's saying, I love you, you look beautiful, I miss you, you're on my mind, I can't wait to be with you, all of those kinds of things, right? That would really lift up your heart. And it would offer you the security of knowing your place in his heart and in his life because you've expressed that you don't feel very secure right now. But there are other ways that he might be really loudly trying to show you that he appreciates you or is attracted to you or loves you, but it's just not verbal. So you may need to pay a little bit more attention to the ways that he is expressing himself. Sometimes it's little tiny quiet things that he gets you a plate out and puts it on your spot when you guys are getting ready for dinner. It's him checking up to see if you need anything before he comes home. It's him patiently driving you wherever it is you want to go and not complaining and not saying a word and just taking you out to make you happy. It could be something he buys for you that he's brought home for you. The thing is, we often want to experience romance in a very specific way because all of us are programmed a little bit differently. For some people, words will send them through the roof with happiness, and for other people, it's touch. It's being hugged, it's being kissed, it's being caressed, and where that kind of develops, right? So everybody has different preferences. And so being newlyweds, you guys are in that phase of figuring out what is it that makes each other feel amazing. So it's not that you have to express that you're unhappy with him, but rather letting him know that what lights your heart up the most is when he tells you how he's feeling about you. Or maybe also, if, for example, you guys were apart in the day, that he might text you and say, I'm thinking of you, or I can't wait to see you tonight, or I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Let him know that what lights up your heart is being told what's on his mind, and give that as an invitation. Now, he may not be comfortable with that yet because expressing romantic ideas is probably brand new for him. Right? This is something completely foreign to him. He's never had to do this with anyone else before. So there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But you could help him out by letting him know that it makes you so happy when he shares something on his mind, or he shares a positive thought that he had about you in the day, or he expresses things, whether written down or verbally, and just give him the invitation. Now, the second piece to this then is to look for all the ways that he is telling you that he cares about you and hone in on those. Because when it comes to security, it's often found in paying attention to the overall actions of the other spouse. So not just in this case what he says, but what does he do? Are his actions loving? Does he consider you? Does he remember you? Is he courteous of your needs and your feelings otherwise? If you want to feel secure, you've got to look at the whole picture and not just what's missing in terms of your preferences from the picture. Does that make sense? And so this way you kind of have a win-win. Over time, you can help sort of train him to know that what makes you feel the most alive in the marriage and the most loved is for him to express himself verbally or maybe in written communication. And then you'll also learn that what makes him feel the most loved or respected and, desired in the marriage is something completely different. So just as you would like him to figure out the key to your heart, you could also take on the challenge of figuring out what the key to his is and figure out what makes him feel the most amazing. If you guys are both doing that, you're both kind of letting each other in on what you prefer, you're both trying to meet each other's needs, and you're also looking at the big picture, the overall series of actions from both of you you're both going to feel loved. You're both going to feel that development of security between each other because you see things as they really are, not just this kind of narrow perspective that maybe you entered marriage with. So I hope that kind of expands how you look at your husband in terms of, the possibilities of the things you can pay attention to, and that you feel more loved by the end of this week. If you have a question or something on your mind, please feel free to reach out to me at wivesofjannah.com/ask-a-question. And also check out the Wives of Jannah podcast. It is available on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and some other podcasting apps for other Q&As that are being answered from my inbox. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.